Alrighty, next game up here is the Raiders and the Steelers, and look at this. The Raiders early on in the season are good. I mean, this doesn't surprise us. This shouldn't surprise anybody. This Raiders true test comes at kind of week 8, 9, week 10, when it's the turning point from the first half of the season to the back half of the season, when everybody has kind of a lot of tape on you, and you kind of have to kind of figure some things out and kind of change some things and kind of switch things up offensively, defensively, so people can't recognize what play you're running by your formation because they've watched 7 weeks of film on you and know what your offense is and know what your strengths are. So this Raiders team starts the season off 2-0. Give them credit for that, but their true test will start week 9, 10. Yeah, week 9, 10. We'll start looking at them a little bit more in depth and putting a bigger eye on them. But we'll give them credit for the win last night over the Steelers, 26-17 on the road. Very well done. So let's start with this Raiders team. Derek Carr was slinging the ball around like we know, and once again, it's just like those opinions of Derek Carr of him not being a good quarterback is just like, what are y'all talking about? The only thing that is wrong with this team overall is John Gruden, and we know that because they flounder in the back end of the season. If you're good in the first end and bad in the second end, that doesn't mean that you're not good talent-wise. You've literally proven you've got the good talent. That's why you came out of the gate firing. But if you don't switch things up and you get complacent, then that's coaching, and John Gruden's the coach, and they floundered the last 2 years in the back end of the season. So we've never been off of Derek Carr. We've been a supporter of Derek Carr. Once again, that's on the record. You can go back. But Derek Carr, let's see what he does here. 28 of 37 from last night. That's 75%, folks. Absolutely fantastic for 382 yards, not dinking and dunking, truly slinging this ball around. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and I don't believe he fumbled either. Oh, he did fumble twice. Didn't lose any of them. So hold on to the ball a little bit, Derek, but didn't lose any, so we give him a little credit there. Slinging the ball around. The running game was not as good as the passing game, obviously. Peyton Barber was their leading rusher here. 13 carries for 32 yards. Really didn't, Kenyon Drake, I mean, they try to give him his rushes. I wish they would have kind of given him the ball a little bit more and consistently and gave him kind of those premier carries, but Kenyon Drake, 7 carries for only 9 yards. And, we told you all week, hey, don't worry about Josh Jacobs not being in because Kenyon Drake can carry the workload, but that man just laid a stinker out here. But running backs, the Steelers were shutting down the running game. Peyton Barber only 32 yards, Kenyon Drake only 9 yards. Nobody was getting 3 yards a carry, anything like that. So we give credit to the Steelers defense for locking down the rushing game. Very well done. All right, now let's see who Derek Carr was targeting on all these 380-plus yards. So here we go. Leading receiver here for the Raiders is Henry Ruggs, 5 receptions for 113 yards and a touchdown. Darren Waller, their second leading receiver, 5 receptions for 65 yards. Now, he was only targeted 7 times. Derek Carr, distributing, the wealth here of the targets. We saw Darren Waller have 16 targets week 1. He spread the wealth here. Henry Ruggs had 7 targets. That was the most. Darren Waller had 7 targets. That was tied for the most, like we were saying. Hunter Renfrow, 7 targets as well. Just truly spreading it around. So well done. And as we're talking about Hunter Renfrow, he was the 3rd leading receiver here. 5 catches for 57 yards. Kenyon Drake, 5 catches for 46 yards. Once again, the good dual threat running back there. So I'm glad that Kenyon Drake got some kind of good production, whether it was in the running game or the passing game. Obviously here the passing game, so that's good. I'd like to see Kenyon Drake be good in this league. I think he's a real solid, serviceable tier 1 running back in this league. Give him credit for that. So overall, everybody was getting it done here for this Raiders passing attack, and they put up 26 points, so we give them credit for that. All right. Now let's talk about the Steelers team, and we'll see, what is going on. The Steelers only putting up 17 points at home, and we saw them struggle offensively last week, and we just kind of chalked it up about the Bills' defense and them being in the road in week 1 and all that. But once again, the offense is a little bit lackluster overall in the points department. When you're just looking at kind of their stats, they all look pretty solid right here. Everybody's kind of doing what they're supposed to be doing, but it's not resulting into constant wins and consistent points throughout the entire game. So the Steelers offense, Matt Canada, the offensive coordinator, the new offensive coordinator for this year, maybe he's truly not getting it done out here. So we're going to have to keep an eye on the Steelers team as the season progresses. But so far, the offense has been a little bit lackluster of what it truly should be, especially this rushing game. I mean, Naji Harris had a big stiff arm, and we're going to shout it out in a minute. But man, oh man, I mean, he's not even getting out to great. So maybe, we put too much, pressure on James Conner. We put, we kind of clown James Conner too much last season for not getting it done in the rushing department, but maybe it's just the Steelers' offensive line and their overall rushing scheme, because Naji Harris isn't even getting it done either. But let's talk about Big Ben very quickly, and then we'll move on to everything else here. Big Ben goes 27 of 40. That is 67% completion percentage. We love it. 295 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. The interception came on the second drive of the game here for the Steelers, and the Raiders do cash in 3 points off of it. Very well done by the Raiders, cashing in on the turnovers. All right, then we get the leading rusher here, Naji Harris. He had 10 carries for 38 yards. Would love to see this Steelers team kind of rush the ball a lot more. I really want to see the Steelers team utilize kind of like the Titans, where the rushing game is kind of the main attack, and then just having, their great wide receivers that they have, and, their solid quarterback in Ryan Tannehill, just let them kind of be the second option here. But, they're really not doing that. Only 10 carries for Naji Harris. 38 yards, it's okay, it's good, but, definitely could be a lot more. Definitely need it to be a lot more if this Steelers team wants to start kind of, putting the points on the board. All right, now let's see who Ben Roethlisberger was throwing to. We got Deontay Johnson, leading receiver here, 9 catches for 105 yards. Chase Claypool, 3 receptions for 70 yards. Naji Harris had 5 receptions for 43 yards and a touchdown, and that's what we know Naji Harris can do, a nice dual threat kind of running back out here. He's got a good hands in the catching game. He's got good speed and athleticism and how to kind of beat the linebackers and all that. So he got it done in the passing game. We love seeing that. Then we get Juju Smith-Schuster, 6 carries for 41 yards. So overall, we need the Steelers offense just to do a little bit more. Let's see what they were doing on their drive charts. Why did they only put up 17 points this game? That seems lackluster to me. I think it should have seemed lackluster to everybody else as well. All right, so here we go. Their drive chart, 6 plays for 14 yards at the punt, their first drive. Second drive is that interception like we were talking about. Third drive goes 10 plays, 50 yards, chews up 4 minutes and 38 seconds, but it's a turnover on downs. 4th and 4 at the Raiders' 38-yard line. They can't pick it up. It's a pass incomplete to Chase Claypool. How unfortunate. All right, then they are finally able to get on the board with a drive. 7 plays, 75 yards for a touchdown. But then it's the end of half, so they go into halftime with 7 points. Out of halftime, their first drive, 6 plays, 20 yards at the punt. Second drive out of halftime, 6 plays, 28 yards at the punt. Third drive out of halftime, they go down and score a field goal, making it a 2-point game. 5 plays, 80 yards, and a touchdown. But then the defense gives up a touchdown. The offense, like we said, they can't answer. They're not stringing along good drives on top of good drives on top of good drives. So, having to go back-to-back touchdown drives just to stay competitive in this game, just to kind of stay close and losing in this game, that's definitely not what the Steelers were made of last night. And then their next drive, 3 and out, 3 plays, 9 yards. Then their next drive right here, 8 plays, 30 yards, but they have to settle for a field goal. Then the Raiders score another field goal, making it a 9-point game, and then there's no time to come back for because there's only 20 seconds on the clock. So this Steelers offense is truly going to have to get it figured out. Who's holding them back? Is it the offensive play calling? Is it the execution? All we know so far is that they're very, very lackluster offensively, not getting it done. This is not the Steelers offense that we were kind of rooting and hyping up in the offseason. So hopefully they can get back on track here come week 3, but they end up losing at home 26-17 to the Raiders. Alrighty, and then before we kind of close out this game, let's give credit to Naji Harris officially being introduced to the NFL with the stiff arm of the week, folks. Look at the stiff arm. Fantastic right here. I believe this is on Jonathan Abrams, the safety. The safety for the Raiders. Man, oh man, this stiff arms, obviously, nothing gets better than a nice absolute perfection stiff arm here. Derrick Henry on Josh Norman. One of the best in NFL history, and Naji Harris trying to get right, and man, oh man, just says, get off me, and then is able to go another 5, 6, 7 yards here. Just look at how he just kind of winds up, and how he so forcefully pushes Jonathan Abram off him. Just look at that, putting everything into that. Sheesh. So, welcome to the league, Naji Harris, blessing, baptizing Jonathan Abrams. Absolutely gotta love it. One more time. Sheesh. Well done, Naji Harris. Love it.